Well, hi, my friends. Today is flower planting day, and as you see, I have some really beautiful double impatiens that I'm going to be planting here at the Lifestyle Center. Now, sometimes you may think that, we're just planting flowers in a pot, that it's a no-brainer, but no, it's not a no-brainer because it's just like planting in the garden. We need to have some thought and consideration to where we're going to put these pots, what type of soil we're going to put in it, the type of plants we want in these pots, how much watering needs to be done. So this is a real quick flower planting, pot planting, okay, flower pot planting, don't get misconstrued here. And video that's kind of like a little tutorial, a 101, a Starry 101. So the first thing I want you to start with, if you are thinking about doing some flower pots, is choose your flowers wisely. Think about how many hours of sun your flowers are going to be getting, and then go to town. Buy as many colors as you want, mix and match. What I like to do with flower pots is, you may have some flower pots that are low, high, different shapes and sizes. So just make sure that the flowers that you're buying are going to be accommodating to past the rim of the flower pot. And then think about where you're going to put it if you want taller plants, if you want lower plants, and if you're going to mix and match, how that is all going to coordinate. But that's kind of the first thing that I would do with the planning, is figure out your location, how much sun, and now the other thing you have to think about is the potting soil that's going to be going into the flower pots, the medium. Now, each flower that you purchase may take something a little bit different, but I wouldn't overthink this, all right? Just know the flower or the flowers you're going to be putting in those pots and buy accordingly. Now, I just bought the good old Ace brand. It's ready to use. It's all purpose for indoors and outdoors, and it was affordable. Now, I had a leftover bag of this garden soil. It's Schultz and it's enriched. They said it's better than plain topsoil, and it also feeds up to 6 months. So it is a mix of spigum and peat moss and composted forest products. Something like that is going to cost a little bit more. But if you buy something like this, the good thing is you might not have to feed it any plant food, and it really it should help your flowers be healthier. But with something like this, all you need to do is make your own tea. And I think I did a video on how to make your own tea. It actually is like a fertilizer that's very natural. And I would say, once a month you can make your tea. It's very cheap, and you can add it to your potting soil, and you can feed your flowers that way. So it just depends. Do you want to spend a little bit more money, sometimes a lot more money, it's usually double the cost, and buy something that you don't have to worry about or really labor over once you plant it? Or go a little bit cheaper. This is about $3, $2.50, $3, and then you can make your own tea and just add it, and it just takes a little more labor. So it depends on what end of the spectrum that you're willing to spend that labor and that time and that money. You're going to have to consider when you are putting your plants in here is any potted plant. I don't care if you're doing vegetables or if you are doing flowers, it's going to require a lot more water. When you're doing vegetable gardens in a pot, you can even do wood chips, and it's a great way to maintain that moisture. You can also do kind of a wood chip back to Eden garden with your flowers also. This is a big enough pot to actually add some wood chips, and I would do that because any plant is going to require a lot more watering. And by utilizing the back to Eden garden method in a pot, I'll guarantee that you won't be watering as much if you left this soil unprotected. Flower is taken out of the container, you're going to have this root ball. And what you need to do is just dig a hole big enough for the root ball. That's it. Flowers don't need to go in super, super deep. They just need to be about with the root ball. Now the other advice is once you plant your flowers, you're going to make sure that you water them thoroughly. And for the first time, it's always good, to add some type of, organic fertilizer if you can, to give your soil a boost. When I do my vegetables in a pot, I love adding magnesium, especially for the peppers and the tomatoes. It does wonders. Now the last step is then watering. Depending on your flowers, each flower is going to take sometimes a little less, a little more, but standard rule is if it's not raining every day, you're not getting the rain from God, you are going to be watering those flowers just about every day, and they take several cups. It's always good, obviously, to add that tea fertilizer once a month. Your plants will tell you when they need watering, but kind of rule of thumb, you're going to be watering a lot, and that's why I like to use the wood chips, because that will cut down on some of that watering and maintain that moisture. But planting your flowers in the pot, see, there was a little bit of stuff that you needed to know, and we'll even check back here and see how beautiful these flowers are in about another month. All right, God bless.